Hey guys, this is SoulWreck333, and this video is just going to show some work in progresses that I'm doing, and it's been slow going with the customizing. A lot of it has to do with the stuff Hasbro's been putting out. I just haven't been inspired by any of it. I don't like a lot of the figures they've been putting out. They've gotten too expensive, so and it's just, I don't know, it just hasn't been good for customizing in general. But I still want to get back into it, so here is the Last Knight Voyager Hound figure, and basically how I start off with all of my customs. I clean the figures with just soap and water, let it dry, and then I apply flat black spray paint, Krylon, the kind you get at Walmart, and just apply it all over the figure. And then, as you see here, the hound is all covered up. I gotta touch up a couple of areas. And once I got the figure with the base coat, I then dry brush the figure with Testors acrylic silver. Sometimes I'll use steel or aluminum, or sometimes if I want to do something totally different, I'll use brass, and just skip the silver entirely. But for the most part, a flat black base coat with the Krylon spray paint, and then dry brush with Testors acrylic silver. Okay. And I've posted videos on how to dry brush, and even videos on how to apply the spray paint. So there. Now the goal for this figure is to make it look like my Age of Extinction hound. I do like the size of this figure, but I like the look of this figure. I wish this had the belly thing, but I like the overall look of this figure and the alt mode too, but I like the size. So when it's done, I'm not sure which one I'll keep. I'll probably sell one and keep the other. Maybe when it's done I'll figure that out. So there they are. Now this figure has been in my to-do list for a long time. This was the Beast Hunters Grimwing. I don't remember his name. He was green. He was okay looking. So I finally gave him the flat black base coat, and he is now fully dry brushed with the silver. I haven't decided what colors I'm going to do. If I'm going to do an original paint scheme, or if I'll just give him the colors he originally had. But that's what it looks like when I do the silver dry brush. I got some minor chipping that I got to take care of. This figure is just nothing tabs in. It's just all friction. Not even friction. It's just nothing pegs in. So when transforming, and things rub into each other, and that causes the rubbing. I don't know. I might use that to my advantage. I don't know. I have ways of covering up my mistakes and making it look good. But there he is. I don't know when I'll finish this up, but once I do, that'll be on eBay. Then I have my Last Knight Voyager Optimus Prime. This is the second time I'm painting him up, and this one will go in my collection. The first one I sold on eBay. This one I just wanted to paint the robot parts, so the alt mode won't be touched at all. But I wanted to try something different with this, and a lot of what I did is actually going to be subtle and probably won't be noticed unless I point them out. But basically what I'm doing with this guy is I'm filling in all of the hollow parts. So his hollow feet is now filled in. His upper bicep is now filled in. And the under part of his forearm or of his fist is filled in. I was going to fill in the thighs and some other parts, but I left those alone. So I just wanted to fill in the gaps. Oh, and I also filled in the hollow smokestacks. And I just used putty to fill them in, and then when they hardened, sanded it smooth. And yeah, that's one of the reasons I stopped buying a lot of the Transformers figures. Hasbro cutting down on the plastic and creating a lot of visible hollow parts, making the figure look cheap and feel cheap. So I figured I'll fill in the gaps myself, especially if I'm going to paint them up. So all that's left with this figure is the colors, the red, blues, and copper highlights, and painting the shield. I might paint the flames in there, depends on how I feel. So yeah. And so that you can see what I'm talking about, there I filled in the hollow piece here with the putty, sanded it smooth, and so when this is painted up you won't even notice that. Filled in the hollow parts in the thigh, and if this wasn't pinned in I would have filled in that gap too, but you know, I'm not gonna mess with that. The gaps, the hollow feet too, fill that in. Fill this, and this. I don't think there was any other parts to fill in. So yeah, those are the figures I'm working on. I think I have a couple more that are on my work in progress shelf. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm also working on a commission right now. But that's about it. Thanks, guys.